And welcome back to Talkin Spit After. We're your hosts, TJ, Bay, and Alan Poe, back once again with the latest and greatest. Ladies and gentlemen, the news wires are firing up right now. There's some big news going on here back home in the CCS, Central Coast section, as we like to call it. So some big things happened this past weekend. One of our very own Clara Adams from North Salinas High School, she was down in Southern California racing for the state finals in the 400 meter and the 200 meter track and field event. The 400 meter track and field event, she actually won, and she beat out a commit from USC. Now, the issue is that after the win, her post celebration, she decided to use a fire extinguisher to insinuate that she's on fire. Apparently, the CIF committee or officials had an issue with that, and they took her championship and her medal away, and she was no longer allowed to also run the 200 meters. So it's not our story, but what it is, it's good. It's going to be great to hear from the horse's mouth, or one of the people that were involved in this, which is Coach David Adams. Coach David Adams, what's going on, man?
Oh, I mean, it is whole thing with the extinguisher. It was a handheld, not the ones that you see at the schools or in buildings. It was a small handheld mini extinguisher. And when she was blowing off her spikes with the extinguisher, it was really a homage to Maurice Green, former Olympian that did that in 2004, which was 4 years before Claire was born. But she looks up the old school sprinters. She looks them up. She's really into the sport. She saw it. She liked it. I take full responsibility for it. At the end of the day, I thought it was a fun thing. It was between me and her. We made sure that she was away from her opponents. She wasn't on the track. She was off the track. And when she made the gesture after winning the race, she was looking at me. It was a me and her, it was a me and her celebration type thing.
Right.
This is not the first championship type of level of race that Clara's won before. This is her first time she's ever celebrated ever in her career, and it's gone viral. I just find it crazy to me when you see all these different sports, football, baseball, how they rush the infield of a baseball field after winning a big game, touchdown dances, all the different signing a football or picking up a phone or all the crazy antics of celebration. Nobody has a problem with it. It's okay. It's entertainment. But now it's track. It's a problem. CIF, the past 24, 25 years, did the research on that, on disqualifications. They haven't had one in the past 2 decades. But now, all of a sudden, it's a problem.
Okay. Do you think the CIF commission thought maybe it was like upstaging her competitors? I know that you said that she was away from everyone else who was involved in the race, but do you think
can only be argued if she was actually showing her opponents up? But the thing about it's crazy. The same girls that she beat, they were advocating for her not to get stripped of her 400 title. She won that race. Everything was done after the race,
right,
away from the opponent. So that would never be an argument. So we can't just create a narrative that never happened. We got to be fair across the board here. All the things were covered. Like, hey, we're not showing off your opponents. We're not disrespecting nobody. The people in the CIF booth that you could hear the soundbite, how they're saying, oh, she's bringing fun back to the sport. I'm not making this up. It's actual soundbite. You could hear them saying that up at the top. The crowd went crazy. They loved it. It was just those few guys that were right there as you could see them on the film. I released that footage because I have nothing to hide.
Right.
They had a problem with it. And in my opinion, I feel like they made a decision based on emotion. They didn't like it. And they're showing you, hey, we're in charge here. We're going to shut you down. We're going to take your moment away. That's the message that I got.
I mean, they'll definitely do that to you. they'll definitely take your moment away if they don't see it fit. What you got, T?
Well,
oh, sorry.
Like I said, there's no rule saying you can't use a fire extinguisher. It's a big gray area, but that's safe for them because it's at their discretion. But like you said, if they don't like something, if they don't personally like it, they can shut you down. It's not like when she was getting boos from the bleachers. They were
Right.
clapping. They were clapping her up. Okay, they were clapping her up. The booth. I mean, if they felt something, they would have said something. But they were saying exact words. She's bringing fun back to the sport. To bring fun back to the sport, meaning the sport hasn't been fun. It hasn't been entertaining. I mean, I can't make this up. Soundbite.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
I can tell you one. I can tell you one thing. If I had to do this all over again, if I had the chance to like redo this, reiterate this whole situation again, man, I probably would have waited because Clara always comes to the stands when she's done. She goes to the waiting area to go get her things, and she'll come and meet me back in the bleachers like she's always done.
Mm-hmm.
If I could do it over again, maybe I would have waited till she got, on the bleachers, and did it right there or whatever. If I was able to, if I do it all over again, that's what I would do now that I think about it. But I take full responsibility first and foremost. I'll be the villain. Be mad at me. I gave her the extinguisher. I gave it to her.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't give it to her, she would have never done it.
Right.
Don't take her moment. Punish me. Fine me. But don't punish the kid. You can't take away. She's not the fastest kid in California in the 400. That can never be erased. True. It's right there. It'll never go away. I just don't know how you could be number 2 and accept the first place medal for something you didn't win. I get it. She's a USC commit. I get it. You got beat by a sophomore. It is what it is. That's the nature of the sport. You ain't going to win them all. She was favored to win since February. I guess Clara cracked the narrative, and there's certain people that didn't like that either.
I was going to ask about that. Do you think it was basically because she was a USC commit or that she was supposed to win and she's a senior and she was a USC commit to where it's like unfathomable where a sophomore from a small town can win?
I know for a fact that wasn't part of the script. Clara going down there to Clovis
mm-hmm.
and beating that girl and beating that USC commit. I mean, if I'm the USC recruiter and I'm watching my commit get beat by a sophomore, I'm gonna start scratching my head.
Mm.
That's just on the business end. Who is this sophomore? Where did she come from?
Right.
That's just me in a coach mode, in recruiter mode. Who's this sophomore? And I know that wasn't part of the script. The storybook ending was for her to win the race, the USC commit to win the race, and then go off into the fall into USC as the state champion.
Right.
Now that's a storybook. Now that's a storybook ending. But again, like I said, she went against Clara Adams, under 16 2024 champion, USATF. We come from the club culture. It's different in club. Mm. So when you bring club kids to high school, we raise kids older. It don't matter. We don't duck any fades. We raise anybody. We fly all over the country. It's the best versus the best. That's why she's a 4-star as a sophomore, because we fly everywhere. Best versus the best. You can't say we didn't race her. You can't say we didn't race her. We race everybody. You're not going to win them all. That's the nature of the sport. That's the nature of the sport.
What you got, T? You got to speak up a little bit.
Can't hear him.
Yeah.
People's moments and stuff like that, especially in the child moment, man. Yeah.
Hey, T, repeat that because you were kind of cutting out.
You said what now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, nigga. I animated that good. Damn. All right. So, anyways, I was just saying, I think it's bullshit what they did, man. Because granted, if she would have did it on the track after right after the race, maybe that might be, something. But the fact that she went off and celebrated with you, David, that's just saying enough. And I don't know if you can dispute that or whatever, but I would definitely do that. And like you said, though, man, I agree. Like it's already on wax, though, man. People seen it, so And I definitely think there was, like you said, that storybook ending was what was supposed to be the actual play out.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
We knew going into this race we were going to win. We followed the girl all season. Her times are not consistent. A lot of coaches, it's not the athlete's fault. There's coaches out there, they like to peak their kids out for like super events like Mount Sac, Arcadia. Those are big meets that goes on about 5 weeks before state. So Madison beat Clara at Mount Sac. The difference is I had Clara run that race a certain way because I wanted to see how Madison runs a 400 because we'd never raced her before.
Mm.
Madison won a race. I had Clara take her foot off the gas for 40 meters after the 200 turn purposely. We wanted to see how Madison reacted on the final stretch. Then Clara put the gas on the final stretch after taking that 40-meter break. Clara came very close to beating her after taking her foot off the gas. I got excited because I knew we were going to get her at state. I have a video that I'm going to release, me talking to Clara in the bleachers after the race, telling her, I don't care about winning Mount Sac. I want the state title, and we're going to go get it. Now I'm going to release it. Coaching track is a science. You have a 2 to 3 week window, peak time. And like I said, I don't care. It doesn't matter how fast you are in March and April. It's how fast you can run May 30th and May 31st, May 29th, when you're going through the rounds. Because if you can't run how fast you were back in March and April, it doesn't matter if you can't do it at the end of May. That's state. So I did what I did. I peaked Clara out according to the time when state was coming up. I started peaking her during PCS rounds. So that's how she was able to take on Hannah Rutherford, the Stanford commit. That's the girl that beat Clara last year. So I started peaking at that time. They put Clara and Hannah in the 200 in the prelims. Why they do that, I don't know. Clara took her out. A week later, the 400 final. But they didn't put them together in the prelims. They knew not to do that. They kept them separate. Beat her at the final. I said, we got to run it again next week, Clara. It's not over yet. She don't want to get the league back. Went down to state. He took first. Madison Mosby took second. Hannah Rutherford, Stanford commit, took third. The sophomore from North Salinas won the race. She gave it to both of them. The sophomore.
So through all of this, how is she holding up? I mean, I'm sure she's like any kid would be devastated, but how is she holding up? What does she take? What lessons is she taking from this, or is there anything that she learned?
No, ain't no lesson. Ain't no type of, I learned this. No, it ain't that. It really much of that. I talked to her, we talked about it. She's doing better today than she was Saturday. She's seeing all the support she's getting across the country.
Right.
That's making her feel good. We got an alert from Nike. There was a Nike Outdoor Championship in 3 weeks that we're going to go run over there up in Oregon at Hayward Field. And that's a bigger event than the CIF California Championship. It's a bigger because it's a national meet.
Right. That's huge.
And Clara's going to run under 20. Clara just turned 16. All Clara got to do is make podium. She's great. Times that she's running NCAA's times right now as a sophomore. So she's entered into the under 20 400 meters.
I can't even imagine her senior year what number she's gonna put up. Like records will fall. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
So we're looking forward to the Nike opportunity. We appreciate them for that and getting us that opportunity. They know what happened. They saw what happened. And now we have an opportunity to still make a mark that make it count going up there to Eugene, Oregon in the next few weeks for the under 20 championships.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I think that's the one I watch every year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
It's a big name. So.
He was saying that's the every year on NBC they always have like the Nike track and field event. So Ty was saying that's what he watches.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
That's gonna be awesome to watch for sure.
Yeah.
We basically we're making podium in the 20s that really outshines California high school. You from the Nike than your state meet. Because when you're doing the state meet, there's a lot of runners you ain't running against because you're within your state. But once you go national, you're racing somebody from all over the country.
Right. The cream of the crop, the best of the best. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a big opportunity that we're thankful for that we're able to do. Like after this situation, while this is going on, she gets to perform in the midst of everything. So we're all ready for it. I gave her 4 days off. We're going to hit the lab back on Thursday, back to training, because we have this meet coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So you never want to get caught sleeping on the job. It's like I said, this girl performs. She celebrates one time in her whole career, one time, and it's gone viral. I mean, viral, and it's crazy. Out of all the celebrations of all the sports, I wonder why this was so important. That's why there's people that's commented. They said this sounds like this is deeper than the fire extinguisher, and I agree to it. They act like she started a fire or, lit off fireworks and shit.
Right.
Like, come on, let's be real. She's a kid. She's 16, a sophomore. It's a huge accomplishment. Do you know how hard it is to win a sprint event at state as a sophomore? It's not very easy racing against girls that are 17, 18 years old.
Right.
It's not easy at all. We're talking a sprint category. We don't have single A, double A, triple A like Texas and Florida. We have one division. And that means there's only one champion, not 4 and 5 champions. We only have one. So to do that, we should have set off some damn fireworks. It should have been a cannonball blast. It should have been a fucking cannonball blast. It should have been, but it wasn't. It was the Maurice Green tribute. That's all it was. And he spoke on her behalf. He loved it.
Yeah, that was really awesome to see.
So to see that, I'm like, okay, what are we taking for it? We heard it from a damn Olympian, a former Olympian. So, everyone knows Maurice Green was no pushover. Right. So if we from him, why are we still talking about this?
So have you been in contact with the CIF on, is this under?
They're not talking to nobody. They ducking news stations like they're fucking debt creditors.
Wow. So they're not even like in discussion on how to rectify the situation.
They wouldn't KSW. They would win. They would talk to Fox News. They're not responding to nobody. Emails, from what I was told from the stations I talked to today that reached out to CIF to get their side, they're not reaching. They haven't said nothing. I go, I'm not surprised because they wouldn't even talk to me. I was there. When I asked for the guy that grabbed my daughter's arm, when I asked for him, instead of him coming to see me and talk to me man to man, I get a police officer from Clovis PD.
Mm.
He didn't do nothing to my daughter. What the man that, grabbed her arm was, talking crazy in her face. And I just thought, like, just don't talk to me. I'm an adult, talk to me. Let's talk. But he was hiding. And, usually when people hide, it's because they've done something wrong. If you stand on what you did or whatever, you have no reason to hide.
Right.
I didn't threaten nobody. I didn't, nothing obscene, just nothing like that. I said, I just need to talk to the guy that, grabbed my daughter's arm. I just want to, talk to him. I'm a father and I'm a coach. And I never seen him. He just disappeared. He was gone. Hiding. So, like I said, you only hide when you've done something wrong.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So I just hope that we can get past this. Maybe do Nike. And, I'll leave the fire extinguisher. I'll leave it at home this time. Probably leave it in the truck or something, in case of an emergency.
You never know. They might want you to bring it.
Well, I just want to just protect Clara. Right. I want to protect my daughter at all costs. I don't want her being sabotaged. Like I said, I take full responsibility. Blame me. I'll be the villain. Be mad at me. Talk shit about me. I'm cool. Leave Clara alone. Because that was her first celebration ever in her career. And this is what we're getting from it. So I'd say, I hope we can get past this. We'll do Nike. Clara make podium over there. and then it can, okay, the high school thing in California. Well, this is what she did in Oregon, and I just have a feeling Oregon is going to love her. They love the track culture in Oregon is really strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's respected. That's where they have they host the Olympics, Olympic trials. That's where they host Olympic trials right there. So they have a very rich track culture there. Clara's ran on that track for Junior Olympics back in 2023, and she ran there in 2023 when she was in 8th grade. So she's familiar with the facility and she's familiar with the track. So we will leave a day or two early so she can get some running time on that track just to get a feel for it, bounce on it, things of that nature.
Right.
We will be prepared for it.
Well, best of luck to her, man. This is very, very unfortunate to take such a great moment away from a well-deserving kid. It's
I just feel like, in my opinion, I just feel that they're using Clara as a scapegoat to take the attention away from the transgender. Is it A.B. Hernandez? Is that the name? A.B. Hernandez?
Yeah.
Okay. I watched A.B. jump. A.B. can jump her ass off. She can jump. I believe they use Clara as a scapegoat to take the attention off A.B. Hernandez and focus on Clara's celebration instead, because they're getting enough heat. I mean, they're getting heat from the president over the A.B. Hernandez situation. And I think they want to just use her as the shield to block away what's going on with the transgender that's beating up on girls, natural born girls, taking medals from other girls that could have medaled that worked hard in their craft. So I think California, CIF has their priorities in the wrong places right now. They got to come to, huddle up. They got to huddle up the way they huddled up to disqualify Clara. They need to huddle up on that too and figure this out and make it right. Reinstate her championship level, because you can't deem someone a champion that someone else ran faster than. Right. This could have been handled such a better way. They could have gave for a warning like, hey, Clara, you got the 200 coming up. You're a 2 seed. You're a high seed. Hey, don't do that again. This is your warning. If you do it again, that would have been the proper thing to do, because we would have straightened up real quick off of that.
Or
you get warnings in football. You get warnings in basketball.
True.
But we don't get a warning in track. But with no warning in track, though. So that's our argument. That's what we're going through right now.
Yeah, like as far as like punishment, I could see them for the 200, put her in like one of the worst lanes to run in, as as like something to say, hey,
you can't play with lane assignments. Let me tell you about track. You can't, because those lane assignments are based on their qualification. So Clara earned her lanes. You can't take her off a lane and put her somewhere else and move someone else in her lane, because she's a number 2 seed in California.
Okay.
That stadium will go up in flames if you play with somebody's lane like that.
Okay.
Because they earned that lane. That's why she came into the championships 12th seed. And then after her race in the prelims, when she ran that 23.71, that moved her to the number 2 seed. So that put her in lane 6, which is a primary lane. So you can't play with that. I just think you just give a warning. Just like in football, if you make a touchdown and you do a touchdown dance celebration that's excessive, if they call it that, what do? They back you up on the PAT, or they back you up on the kickoff, right?
Right.
Okay. They don't end the game and say, all right, Monterey High, you guys we're going to forfeit this game now. It's going to go to so-and-so. You guys lose because y'all showboating. They don't do that. They can't do that. They give you a penalty. They throw a flag. They throw a flag, Titan man that's celebrating in the end zone after a touchdown. Number 3, celebrating, flag. Okay, you know what? Game over. We're going to give the championship game. No, they don't do that. They going to back you up on the PAT. They're going to back you up on the PAT for the field goal, for the extra point.
Right.
And that's it.
True.
But in track, we're going to just strip a young lady's whole championship, whole title away.
Right.
And we're not laying down. We're going to keep fighting. We'll fight this all the way. We're going to keep fighting. We got a lot of support around the country.
Yeah.
You guys are signing the petition. It's out there. We're almost at 2,000 signatures right now.
What you got, T?
Listen, I'm just hearing the passion of that voice, man. I'm like, damn, this just feel hella bad, man. I don't even know what to say, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate, man. For sure.
It is. I don't know, man. I just say things that people are afraid to say. Real. It was a white girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, and I was her white dad, coach. I believe it would have been celebrated. Not, they would have been like, it's good for the sport. Look at this girl. Look at this. She sprayed her feet with the extinguisher. Look at her. This is good for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it, just based on the track history of way black athletes are treated in sports versus white athletes are treated in sports and celebrations. Because when a white kid celebrates, that kid is deemed as passionate, right, and it's great for the sport. But when a black or a brown kid celebrate, it's deemed as ghetto and unsportsmanlike. And I want to know, why do they keep moving the goalposts? Why is it good for him and her, but not good for this demographic? I'm just going to put it out there and say what it is. If Clara was a little white girl, they wouldn't grab her arm or nothing. They would celebrate that and be like, this is great for the sport. Oh, my God, this is nice for the sport. And that would have went viral, too. But she would have got ridiculed. She wouldn't have been getting ridiculed. Her daddy wouldn't have got ridiculed. Her daddy wouldn't have been a villain for giving it to her. It would have like, oh, that was awesome. Oh, Maurice Green tribute. They would have painted it pretty. And I'm just basing on this country's track record when it comes to treatment and celebration, different demographics. I can't make this up.
No, you can't. I mean, we've all seen the bias and the way things kind of get played out in high school sports. So yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying on that.
Yeah. That's my key on it. That's my end on it.
Shit. Well, I know you're busy, man. I know you got phone calls coming out the wazoo, so we won't keep you too much longer, man.
This is our time. This is our time. I put my phone on D&D. I told you I would do this with you, so I'm here for it. Whatever you need from me, I got you.
I mean, you said everything. I mean, like I said, everything that's going on right now, it's weird. It's just, especially, and I don't really want to get into it too much about AB Hernandez.
I just felt that.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do track and field parents, or how do sports parents feel about that, as far as like transgenders participating in sports?
How do parents?
Yeah.
So choose my words carefully on what I say. If you have daughters, I have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You have a daughter too.
Correct.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not okay with my daughter raising a boy that's filled with testosterone and she has estrogen. It's not a fair match. It's like taking a knife to a gunfight.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I do that for? Why would I be okay with that? I mean, we grew up in an era, we competed, and if we weren't that good enough, we got better at it. That's it. That's all I ever known growing up.
Mm-hmm.
With the transgender situation, I think that I'm not going to say they shouldn't compete. No, I'm not going to say that. I think they should have their own category. You have the men, the woman, and the transgender. It'll be a bigger event. We're adding another, section, another division.
Right.
I don't think anybody would complain. Donald Trump wouldn't have to threaten California to what do you say? He's going to freeze their funds or not give them any more money. Donald Trump, worry about other stuff. Not coming to California saying, transgender, you better not let her do that, this, that, the third. No, just put transgenders in their own category and it will blow up. I'm all for it. I'm all for it being equal and fair. There's testosterone, there's estrogen. That's why boys and girls are separated for a reason. You don't see boys on the girls' basketball team. You don't see girls on the boys' basketball team. It's for a reason. It's science. It's not, I don't like you or this. It's science. Testosterone, estrogen, we know that's not a fair fight.
Great point.
Say this. I think it's okay for training purposes. Like if you're having, say, if you're having your daughter go against a dude for training, because like when we were younger, we were taught, we played older people better than us, and that's how we got better, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as competing for, like medals and stuff that actually matters. Yeah, I agree. I'm not really gonna touch this, but I'm just gonna say, yeah, I agree. It should be separated to where people have like boys can run against boys only, girls can run against girls only, so on. But like I said, that's all I got to say about it. I'm not really touching this subject, not because I have a problem with transgender people. It's just I'm old school, and people may not like my views and shit. So,
Yeah.
Right, right. Story. The story.
Yeah, man. I mean, as far as like support, like I've been seeing support from everybody reposting and, a lot of conversation going on about it. So a lot of people have, Clara's back on this situation. So hopefully the CIF, gets a little pressure on them and they rectify the situation. That's really the only outcome that I see fit.
Right.
let it pass. That's messed up. They took her home from her. Come on,
Oh,
man.
she's never gonna forget. We're never gonna forget this. She's never gonna forget this. When she goes back to state next season, we're gonna replay this, moments before we get to state. And we're gonna remember this. And I just feel bad for the girls that lines up against her.
Yeah.
Because everybody's gonna take the wrath.
Let her walk off the track. It's like a robot right after too. Got no emotion, nothing.
You know what? Just I wouldn't say to rub it in their face, but what I would do, I would find an artist to paint fire extinguishers on her cleats.
That would give her like a
You
pump.
know?
Right. I mean,
Best believe me, it's gonna be lit. I promise it's gonna be something. It's gonna be like a movie. It's gonna be at Buchanan High School all over again. But listen, we're gonna respond with class and
leave it all on the track. Yep. Let your work
leave it on.
let your work
But
speak for it.
right now we got Nike in 3 weeks, the under 20. That's a really big deal for Clara right now. That's a really big deal. It's a game changer. That meet can determine her getting her 5 stars.
Mm.
And that's what we're focused on right now. The village, we're dealing with CIF. We're dealing with everything that's going on. That's the village, because that's what it is. A whole village is behind Clara and our family. A whole village is behind us. Y'all seen it online. Look at the comments and support. Both outlet, KSVW and KLN, both support. We'll deal with the grown folks. We're going to deal with that. Not her. She's worrying about Nike right now and getting her 5th star so her recruit status can go up to give her some leverage, some more leverage.
Right.
So that's what her deal is. That's what your deal is right now. And let us deal with all this controversy stuff. You worry about Nike. We can't get sidetracked and thrown off. Listen, we got an opportunity offered 3 weeks after state meet to redeem yourself as far as getting your stars up, getting that 5th star. That's the max amount. That's what she's worried about. She's worried about that right now. That's her concern.
Definitely. More power to her. Let her know that we're rooting for her, man. For
I
sure.
appreciate it. It means a lot. It means a lot.
Most definitely. All right. Well, Coach Adams, unless T, you got something else?
I see all the videos on the Facebook when I get home and stuff, and I just be enjoying watching her, man. You're doing a great job, David, man. I appreciate you, man.
Most definitely.
That means a lot, man. It means a lot. There's a lot of negativity out there too, but I appreciate the positive stuff because that really helps and it blocks out the negative, the negative things, out there and the trolls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They never miss it. They never miss a beat.
Yeah, that's because they're miserable. And just, what they say, misery loves company, man. So
True story. You right. You ain't even lying about that. That's nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth.
Stay positive, and they can't stop your shine, man, for sure.
Good luck to you, Claire. Be rooting for you, man. I'm gonna be watching too.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Well, shit. All right, Coach Adams, man. It's great talking with you, man. I appreciate you getting on with us.
For sure.
Speaking about this topic, which is near and dear to everyone here on the Central Coast. And just like T said, man, we're rooting for Clara, and we'll just watch. We'll sit back and watch her do great things from here on out.
And if you win, hey, let's blow it up. Like, let's all post fire extinguisher for her. Yeah, man, I'll take her moment away from her video. Let's go viral with the fire extinguisher.
Blowing out. Forever.
Yeah, that's dope though.
It is what it is. What it
It
is.
is what it is, my nigga.
All right, y'all. Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Dave, man, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah. So that's it in a nutshell, man. You heard it from the horse's mouth. You heard it from Coach Adams, Clara Adams' father, on what took place at the state finals this past weekend. And like I said, I hope the CIF, hey, y'all need to really step your game up and do what's right. You know what I'm saying? It's a kid, y'all. Like she's excited. She just beat, you know what I mean? Like all these runners and won a state title at 16 as a sophomore. What are we talking about?
What we're talking about is what we shouldn't be talking about. What we should be talking about is how she, you know what I'm saying, she is 16 and she won the state title. So we can still change the narrative, but we can still say, go watch the video, go watch the race. It was an amazing race. She did really good and she did exceptional on that race, man. Let the video, let the race speak for itself.
Mm-hmm. She definitely earned that championship.
They took her moment away from her, but like I said, like it's on wax right there. You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like I said, man, he got Nike next week. You know how big that is for Nike? Like he was just talking for in a nuts. Let me tell you guys something. Okay. Nike is like this. It doesn't even matter what meet it is. If it's a meet sponsored by Nike in Eugene, it's a big meet. It doesn't matter. It's a big meet. Period. Nike is the Eugene Nike, you know what I'm saying? That track right there, I don't know if it's at Alstom Stadium or whatever, but that track is like the mecca of all track right now.
Yeah. Because that's the home of Nike.
Yeah, it's the home, and they go all out for that meet too, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, Eugene is crazy. Eugene is go crazy for that.
Hey, dude, do you know how like it's going to be a featured story?
You know what else? Okay, I remember, like, let's see, over 2006, 2007. I went to the Eugene meet. I forgot who. Damn, it might have been when that nigga Maurice Green was running and shit like that.
Possibly.
But they were like, you know what I'm saying? I seen there were dudes there that was in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? The 2000 was it 2004, I believe. It was in the 2004, whatever the Olympics was before. It was like 2006, and it was like the world. It was like the championships. They was having it right there in Eugene. I was like, damn, like this is crazy. Because I was actually there. I actually watched the races, boy, and I seen the heat, boy. You know what I'm saying? But for her to be in that race. Man, forget what is it, the CIF?
Yeah.
Man, forget the CIF, man. She's already she's already on the bigger and better things.
Yeah, it's bigger than rap. Like this, although unfortunate, this situation, they don't even know, but the situation has propelled her even bigger.
But yeah, but you know what though? I'll say this though. If she goes to that Eugene meet and performs like well, like she PRs, like she ran a 53 right this last race or whatever. If she PRs in this Nike race, she can go to any college. She'll be able to go to any college she wants.
Yeah, full.
I gotta remember. I gotta say something. I remember back in the day, man. David. We used to run track, right? But the only thing is, I never really got to race David because he did sprints. He did the 100 and 200 and shit like that, and I was hurdles.
Right.
So I remember we did a meet as it was CCS, man. And I remember there was one dude there, I was running hurdles, right? And this dude is Olympic. He was in the Olympic. He was in the Olympics 2 years later. Yes. What was it, 97? The Olympics was in 2000, right?
2000. Yeah.
Yep. So he's okay, so maybe 3 years later, whatever. Um I remember I raced that nigga, man. And if y'all know what hurdles, the 110 hurdles was, I PR'd that race, you know what I'm saying? I broke under 14, for the first time, whatever. But this dude, man, he ran a 13.8 in high school, man. And if y'all know that, whoever knows the 110 hurdles, man, high school, a high schooler running a 13.8, and he was at I'm sorry to say, man, this nigga was from Africa. He had one of them crazy African names too, nigga. And as soon as he got out there, boy,
Gone.
little shit, nigga doing the jumps and everything. Nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga. What y'all think, man? He was doing everything like nigga, like nigga, that try and jump really high in the air.
Right.
Like that, man. And he came out and dusted this man. The gun went off. Ooh, I mean, he was already at the first hurdle. I was I'm sitting there running, trying to catch this fool, man. And man, I'm trying my hardest because like the veins in my neck and my head about to pop. I'm trying to run so hard to catch this fool. And he's just every bounce. I mean, like didn't even skip a beat over. I was like, and that was my last time ever running early.
he made you quit, huh? Anyway, fuck this
I
shit.
got 2 years down the line though, just because I was like, oh, I already heard of me, you know what I'm saying? I was rusty as hell, but that was the last time I ran hurdles, and that was my track experience. So for Claire to be doing, to be doing what she's doing at 16, man, that is a feat, man. And I'm sorry. It sucks that they tried to take that away from her. They could take her medal, but they cannot take the actual, time away from her. So yeah.
Exactly. Oh man. Hey, like I said, prayers up, man. Everyone, spam comments, keep your support for Clara.
If they have kids now, go sign petition for them. Let's run the numbers up. We gotta get this. We gotta make this right, man. Basically,
Yep. Put that pressure on him, man. For sure.
and that goes for not just Claire. Like, that goes for any like little kid, high school athlete, man. If they have a moment and they show some emotion, and it's like they're happy about it, whatever. Like, stop, stop with this, being soft, man. Let it go, man. Let them enjoy their moment. Like, it's ridiculous now, man. These kids can't celebrate, can't do anything like you know what I'm saying. They can't show no emotion and stuff because it's unsportsmanlike. That's ridiculous, man. You know what? That's what got to change. That's what has to change. Not just, oh, give her a medal back. They gotta change for everybody. This should be ground zero for everything now. Like let these kids have their fun, man. Stop taking shit away from them.
Yeah, man, they're just kids, man. They're just excited. They're happy. They have joy. Like I said,
How do we know? I mean, Dave's a great dad, you know, because he's not letting remind. But how do we know? How could this affect? This could affect some other kid in some other way. You know, maybe psychologically, you know, they're thinking, "Oh my God, it's the end of the world." You know, or whatever. You know, there's no telling what could happen from this, man. Stop doing this to these kids, man. But anyways, I digress. There you go. Yeah, can't really see like, but yeah, I'm very passionate about that.
I see. Yeah, I can hear that, especially when it comes to track, man. Because you know, you and David ran track. I didn't run track, but I know it's a totally different beast. So the training's different. So for them to have trained up to this point to get to this level to win, yeah, that's
No, to actually see results
hmm
and to see them at a younger age, man, that's like astronomical, man. That's like what would be the equivalent? Like, I mean, okay, just say you're up for the draft, and you know, whatever. You get drafted, you're in the NFL draft, you get drafted in the first 3 rounds. You know, that's like life changing. That's how it feels for track in high school, winning a state title. That's how it feels.
Yeah, I feel sorry for everybody. These next 2 years, it's about to get crazy.
Now, everybody gonna be everybody, and everybody should be able to keep that on the CIS head, like every time.
Hmm
The kids shouldn't even, you know what, man? Forget state, man. Just boycott state. Nike take over. Let the kids go to Eugene. Let the kids do it there.
That'd be hard.
Let the
I mean,
kids
that's actually a great idea.
be done with this CIF. They want to play games, be done like that, and take stuff away from kids. You know, let Nike take over. You got it.
Yeah,
Invite the best kids from every state. You know, look, let them like the top 3 kids from every state. You know, let them come. Not even just top 3. Let the top 10. You know, from every state.
right.
Let them to the Nike and compete there. And let them have them forget their states, you know, whatever. Or I can't say everybody's state, but forget California. Let the kids go up there. The Eugene's, I mean, Oregon's next state up. Let them go up there and run. And that will actually mean something for these kids. You can't take nothing away from the kids if they win that, or if they compete and they do well at a meet like that.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. It's a travesty. But hey, man, it's the world we live in, and we just gotta keep fighting through and keep pushing, man, like we always do.
You got to keep going against evil.
True indeed. True indeed.
Evil hurt.
Well, shit. All right, T, man. Great, 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 great conversation. Thank you once again to Coach David Adams for taking his time out to talk to us about the situation. Like I said, hey, everyone support Clara, give a shout out, sign the petition, donate, and let's rectify this thing.
For sure.
All right. And thank you guys once again for listening to Talkin Spit After Hours. We're your hosts, TJ, Bay, and Alan Poe. If you like it, you like it. If you love it, you love it. We love y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.